Let's bring him out. We don't have 120 minutes to do this. Come on, Matt Pinfield joining me on the carpet. Matt, welcome.
Jay, it's great to see you. How are you today, man?
We're doing good. There's an energy, there's a buzz. We're getting ready for Filter. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. You know, the guys were warming up and rehearsing, and they sound incredible. So it's really exciting to be here. I love being here for Hitcore. It's just a great time. It's great energy. And I just think it's an incredible experience. And seeing a band that I actually love and have seen come up for the last 30 years, you know?
I bought the Short Bus CD in '95. I'm sure you did too.
Absolutely. I had to have it because as soon as I heard Hey Man, Nice Shot, and then eventually, got to interview Richard in those days, and so make all those records over the years. And he's just such a talented guy, great songwriter, and great frontman. So, it's a great experience to be here and come full circle. Like, right, since you were a kid when you bought that record, and it's good to be here tonight for this. It's going to be really cool. I just love the vibe that's happening here.
Well, what's cool is that we're live right now. Oh, yeah. We've got people from around the world are joining us.
Okay, fantastic. It's good to see everybody.
Well, you've gone from DJ to VJ to producer. You've seen it all. How have you seen music change over the decades?
Well, I've seen it change in a lot of different ways. I mean, in the way that people consume and, and view music, very much like people are watching this live stream tonight. I saw a lot of changes, my early days. I was a club DJ, an alternative and rock club DJ. I did college radio, then I was doing radio, then MTV, of course. And then I was an A&R guy at Columbia Records. I was vice president of A&R. I signed bands and oversaw the making of records. So I've seen things change, and they continue to change all the time because technology changes. And some of the good things that come out of that are things like this, like Hitcore and what you're doing. These kind of live streams that are production are really great, and people can really become a part of it by picking, the camera angles and zeroing in on the artist or the member of the band that they're most interested in at that moment. Maybe they love bass, so they watch the bass player. Maybe they watch the drummer, and they're it's all about the drummer that night. And I think that that's one of the things that's so cool. There are a lot of great things that have come with the changes of technology. But music for me, it's always still the most important thing is it's from the heart, from the soul, and it gets you moving. And I always say there's only two kinds of music: music that moves you and music that doesn't. And so, you know what I mean? And I mean that in a way it could move you physically, make you want to dance, or it could just move you with your heart and your mind, and that's just the most important thing. So.
I like that. It either moves you or it doesn't.
Yeah, it's true. It's that's what I say. It's really funny. I remember, Gail, who was on doing CBS this morning, and the morning she'll go to me. I told her that once, and she goes, "I'm going to use that." I said, "You're welcome to use that anytime you want." It was pretty cool, Gail King. But yeah, it's I love Filter. I see the fact that it's been 30 years, and after taking that break for about 7 years, and Richard working with Army of Anyone, with the guys from STP, and, it's great to see how things come full circle, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, all those songs still hold up from Short Bus and Title Record and all those other albums, so it's really cool.
I was singing Hey Man, Nice Shot on the entire ride here. It's iconic. It's going to go down as one of the greatest songs of the mid-'90s for sure.
It does. It has that incredible intro and that chorus, and, singing quietly to that screaming chorus. It's really cool. So I'm just
hey, man.
Pumped. The energy's amazing. The weather here is fantastic. And I've gotten to see some of the view of the camera angles during the rehearsals, and people are going to be really excited about this live stream.
Well, you told me something earlier as we were talking. I didn't know that you had a song written about you. Tell me about that.
Oh, it was a killer song, All These Things That I've Done, which I wrote a book that came out through Simon & Schuster and Scribner in 2016. It was a memoir, about my life in music and my love of music. And there's a whole chapter in there. When I tried to sign the Killers to Columbia Records when I was there, and I went to see them playing. They had Mr. Brightside in their garage. They were actually young at their parents' garage. Ronnie Vannucci, the drummer, they were playing Mr. Brightside, Smile Like You Mean It. And I'd heard their music from a friend in England, had it on a demo, and I went, I got to find these guys and try and sign them. But I was doing a job for the U.S. Army at the time, and what happened was they reached out to me at Columbia Records and said, we'd love you to come mentor soldiers that are returning from Iraq and Afghanistan. Some are injured, some are not, but they're people that love music or are musicians, and we're going to run a mentoring program. So what they did was they actually, had me come and do that. So I went right from that and to see the Killers, and I told them the story, and that's when he came up with that line, I got soul, but I'm not a soldier, is from my mentoring the soldiers.
Well, I love that Richard Patrick just showed up on the carpet and you weren't even phased. You kept telling your story.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to, we're doing TV here live, and I didn't even realize it was Richard, because, but I'm glad to see it. That's what it is. We're just hanging. This is real, and anything can happen, right? But so that's the story of the song. He wrote the song. We met that night. We got in his car. He was still a bellboy at a hotel. The singer, Brandon Flowers, is now a stadium, sells out stadiums. And I needed to ride back to my hotel. And we went back to the hotel singing the Beatles all the way in his car. And then when we got to the hotel, he wanted to hear more about that story and went home and wrote that song. So it's a classic of the Killers, all these things.
Well, I saw that you had a chance to talk with Richard before, and we've got that video right now. So go ahead and roll that video clip with behind-the-scenes interview.